President of the United States, the President of the Republic of Azerbaijan, and the Prime Minister of the Republic of Armenia will now sign the joint declaration on the outcomes of the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity Summit.
Donald Trump has pulled off a shock peace deal between Armenia and Azerbaijan. You could call it the deal of the century. The deal has carved out a US-controlled mega corridor right on the border with Iran. It's called the Trump Route for International Peace and Prosperity, or TRIPP, T-R-I-P-P. And it's not just a road, it's pipelines, rails, cables and military leverage for 99 years. Armenia has signed, Azerbaijan has signed, and the Ayatollahs in Iran, they just got checkmated on their own doorstep. This is really big and it hasn't been the mainstream media's headlines, but I will explain why it's huge. A brief background first. For decades, the flashpoint between Armenia and Azerbaijan has been the Nagorno-Karabakh conflict, wars in the 1990s, another bloody one in 2020, and a final Armenian collapse in 2023. Russia was always the power broker, but not anymore. After failing to protect Armenia and pulling its peacekeepers out in 2024, because it was too busy with Ukraine, Moscow has lost its grip with its ally Armenia. Armenia's Prime Minister Nikol Pashinyan, realising it cannot rely on Moscow, began pivoting towards West, desperate for security and economic lifelines. But Biden was too incompetent to exploit the opportunity. Well, more than incompetent, it was a fart bag. Enter Donald Trump, an amazing negotiator and dealmaker, smelling an opportunity to sideline Russia, outmaneuver China and plant an American flag in the middle of the Caucasus on the border with Iran. He didn't hesitate and he seized the opportunity. The deal was hammered out in secret and yesterday the three leaders signed it publicly at the White House. This isn't just a peace deal, it's a seismic shift. The TRIPP corridor connects Azerbaijan's mainland to its landlocked Nakhchivan exclave through southern Armenia, and by extension it links Turkey to the Caspian Sea. So who's at? Russia is at. Their monopoly on the Caucasus security is shattered. Iran can no longer regard Armenia as its ally, so the Ayatollahs are at too. So who's in? The United States, controlling a key east-west energy and transport artery for nearly a century. Turkey and Azerbaijan get a direct lifeline which will extend to Europe and hopefully make it less reliant on Qatar, hopefully. Armenia gets investment and an American security umbrella, but have no doubt, the biggest losers are the Ayatollahs ruling Iran. The mainland route to Russia will now be controlled by the Americans, and the Iranian officials are furious, saying they will not allow this corridor to happen. Iran has always seen the South Caucasus as its northern buffer. The Zangezur Strip, now the TRIPP corridor, was the one place Iran could reach Armenia and through Armenia to Russia without passing through hostile territory. Now that link is under US control. Iranian officials are calling it a NATO and Israeli base in disguise. But they've vowed to block the corridor with or without Russia. But Tehran's options are limited. It can pressure Armenia, but Pashinyan is already under American protection. It can escalate military, but that risks war with both Azerbaijan and the US. Or it can try to sabotage, and if they do that, that will invite crippling retaliation. For Iran, the corridor isn't just an economic loss, it's a strategic humiliation. The map has been drawn, and this time they weren't even invited to the table. So, is the TRIPP corridor the beginning of a lasting peace in the Caucasus between Azerbaijan and Armenia? Or the opening move in a much bigger US-Iran confrontation? Because in geopolitics, roads aren't just for travel, they're for power. And right now, it looks like another strategic defeat in a domino of strategic defeats for the Ayatollahs ruling Iran. On another note, the channel is close to having 12,000 subscribers. Thank you for all of you who have subscribed. It's had over 3 million views since I started it. So many of you are watching it, and if you subscribe too, it will boost it enormously. Thanks for watching.